Thank you for joining. My name is Patrizia Cocca. I am the Communications and Knowledge Management Lead of the the Global Evaluation Initiative, and I'm very happy to welcome you to this session because this is the most important part of what today do is to greet you, which are the most important part of the whole event. So I just wanted to briefly tell you about the GEI. The Global Evaluation Initiative aims at strengthening monitor and evaluation systems in the countries we work with. And we do so through capacity building, to technical advisory, but also through knowledge generation and sharing. And the Glocal Evaluation Week is one of the examples of the big platforms that we use to try to bring local expertise to a global audience. And so, Claudia, if you want to share the presentation, we can start with that. So, as you know, the local week will start on June 1st, and it will last for the entire week. Although we will have a few global and some regional launches the week prior to that, in order to start to frame the conversation. Today's session is really to give you all the information that you need to have in order to have a successful participation in Glocal. As organizer, you are the core of what we do, and you are the one providing the essence and the ideas and the knowledge that will be shared in this period. So the session will guide you through the key requirements, the timelines, and then the opportunity for dissemination and sharing and knowledge sharing that you will have. And we are here to help you make the most out of this event. So the Glocal Evaluation Week started in 2019, and we have held this ever since annually. And we are trying to connect the entire global community of people working on M&E across regions and across boundaries. So we really are, with 7 years of activities, we are aiming really to create a community that then will push forward for the idea that evaluation really is important and decision making has to count on evidence to be really transformative. As I said before, the GEI is the convener of Glocal, and we do so together with the CLEAR centers. The CLEAR centers are regional centers disseminated around the globe. We have 6 of them, one in Chile, one in Brazil, one in Senegal, another one in South Africa, one in India, and one in Pakistan. And thanks to them, we have the possibility to review all the proposals we receive and to organize at the regional level. Next. So this is a little bit the history of Glocal, just to give you an idea of the size. As you can see, since 2021, we are hitting around the 350 events on an average, probably even more as an average. And this is really thanks to you and thanks to the interest that there is in this knowledge sharing event. Next. And finally, I want to emphasize that really what you bring is your expertise, what you learned, your ideas, and the innovation that you have already experimented in your work. You bring this to the Glocal Evaluation Week, you share it with the entire community, and we hope that by doing that, you will gain stronger connection, you will learn about new tools that you can use, you will definitely gain visibility and new knowledge. And by doing all that, you are contributing to make stronger evidence available, stronger M&E practices, stronger M&E systems, and to create a global community. So now I will stop here, and it's my pleasure to introduce you Claudia. Claudia Olavarria, she's the coordinator of Glocal. And so I don't know if you have already seen her, but she's the really the soul behind all this, and the engine behind all this, let's say. The soul, we all put our soul. So Claudia, this is back to you.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Thank you to the team that's here today. As Patricia was saying, we're a global team that we have people supporting from all over the world. So thank you very much to everyone that's supporting this. And thank you to each one of our organizers, because as Patricia said, Glocal would not be possible without your commitment and your work. So what I'm going to do now, oops, just a second, is to finalize this presentation. This is a little onboarding that we have for those of you that are new to Glocal, and also for those that have been with us for many years, but they can refresh the memory about what we do and how do we do it. And if there is anything that you would like to add based on your Glocal experience, please use the chat to share that. So what we're going to do now is that I'm going to briefly walk you through the processes. So what you need to do and how do we do it to successfully prepare for Glocal, to successfully implement your event, and to successfully follow up on your event to make sure we have a shared memory and we can keep the debate going during the year and even after. After I finish the presentation, which is very brief, my colleague Luca Padovani will help us walk through the platform. My colleague Rossetti will help us clarify all the questions regarding how do we communicate during Glocal, and then we will have a space for clarifying your questions and receiving your comments. So please, if any question arises, you can use the Q&A section of the Zoom so we can collect those and afterwards make them clear. Okay, so that said, the yearly theme, as you know, for this year's evaluation, evidence and trust in the age of AI. So the invitation we put out there for you was to discuss about how evaluation is transforming itself within the eruption of AI, and especially how does this happen within our current context. So there's lots to think about, there's lots of debate to be hosted, and there are four sub-themes: changing landscape to understand how things are moving around, the practical applications of AI, ethics standards and human judgment, and how do we address complex global challenges. You send us 364 great proposals, and you were invited to this meeting either because you have a proposal that was already approved or because you have a proposal that is being approved but needs your attention for certain adaptations. And please keep an eye on this. Those of you that have not yet received your confirmation of approval, go to the platform and check the comments, because there must be a comment for you for some adaptation that needs to be made. And this needs to be made very, very soon, because I'm going to tell you in a bit, but the Glocal agenda with all the events will be announced early next week. So if you have something to change, you have to change it as soon as possible. Okay. So how does Glocal work? And for those of you that are new to Glocal, please keep an eye on this. Glocal is one platform that connects participants and organizers through dedicated event pages. Each one of your events has a page that's part of the platform, and that's where participants interested come and select whether they want to register and join, or if they prefer to join another session. There are nearly 360 events taking place. And each one of these events is managed independently by its organizer at its own venue. So whether it will be in a hotel room, whether it will be in a Zoom panel or Teams or Meets, you are the one that's responsible for hosting your local event. And after that, each proceeding, which is the memory from the event, the video recording and what was discussed there, will be made available in the Glocal platform. So in the future, we will have a shared collective memory about what happened in Glocal. Okay, so within 360 events being hosted by different organizers, how do we keep the Glocal identity consistent? And there are a few strategies here that are very important for you to know so we can all be one Glocal Evaluation Week and not just a sum of different events. We use a shared branding and coordinate the dissemination efforts jointly. You can see here that my colleagues and I, we all have the Zoom background for Zoom, and we will ask you to also have it because you are now part of the Glocal team. We also disseminate all the events through the Glocal platform. So you use your own Glocal event page for dissemination. You do not do your own dissemination with your own branding or with your own links, but you do invite everyone to visit the Glocal platform. And this is extremely important. So we will also be reinforcing that message. Third, to keep the identity consistent, we promote the events and we register participants on the Glocal platform. Despite you having your own link to Zoom, to Teams, to Meets, those links will be accessible to participants through the Glocal platform. So the route is you invite them through the platform, and in the platform they connect and link to your own venue. And finally, and most importantly, we upload and share the event proceedings in the Glocal platform so we're in the future able to share your event and what happened there with those that could not join and with other people that could be interested in the topic in the future. And we can also make a aggregated, if you want, analysis about how the debate went. What happened in Africa, what happened in South America, what happened in Asia, what themes, what cross-cutting themes were there, what sectors, or etc. All those analyses are only possible if you upload your proposals and we have access to your video recordings. Okay, so all of you here today are event organizers, so we're going to discuss now what is our role as event organizers. And for this, we're going to briefly review the terms and conditions that sustain, our role as the local team and your role as event organizers. So the key responsibilities from organizers are to host, with everything that means, a knowledge sharing event that will be about monitoring, evaluation, and or the use of evidence. This is why some of you received a message that said, be sure you frame your event into this. Even if we are discussing about different things, they should always be connected to monitoring and evaluation and or the use of evidence. That's what Glocal Convene is about. Your event must align with the principles under which we in the GEI and our partners work, which are respect, integrity, professionalism, and inclusion. Your event has to be open and free of any fees for any interested participant. So you cannot exclude people, or you cannot select, or have any fee regarding this. Glocal is open for everyone, so this is why the spirit that's behind it. Another key responsibility for you is to use the platform features, as I told you, for dissemination, registration, and all the processes. Provide, of course, all the directions that people need to attend your event. Support your event, the speakers and the dissemination and everything that needs to be done in order to be successful on its implementation. And again, and please forgive me if I remark this too much, but it's extremely important that you upload the event proceedings so others can enjoy your event after it happens. Other than that, you agree to be contacted by the Better Evaluation team, or you can also contact them directly if you wish to disseminate your event using that platform, or if we consider that your event can make a great contribution to knowledge sharing also at that space after Glocal. You agree to the proceeding of personal data, and you keep all the necessary precautions to ensure the your event is safe and secure for everyone. So we also have these directions that are under the terms and conditions in order to make sure that. And those, so example of that is a small registration process. You do have a waiting room and be aware of who is joining your event. Some dedicated team members to keep an eye about how things are going, etc. Okay, so those are your responsibilities, but we as a team also have some responsibilities for you, and you can keep us accountable for that. So we are responsible for providing feedback and helping you make sure that your event is aligned with local proposals. We are sharing promotional materials for you to use. We will promote the local agenda and each one of your events on our social media and with our partners. We will provide the platform for all of this to happen. And afterwards, when your proceedings are ready, we will also share them and promote them actively. And finally, we will award a certificate of participation for organizers, not for participants, but for those organizers who successfully delivered and uploaded their proceedings in the platform. Last year, we had some challenges regarding this task, so this year we have made changes in the processes. It would be a centralized process, and you will have a week to upload your proceedings, and then we'll have an extra week to share the certificates back to you. Okay. Please remember, if you have any questions, share them in the chat. I'll be ready in a second. Okay, so what do organizers need to do? What are the processes and the tasks that we each of us need to do in order to host or to successfully host an event? There are three main stages or phases in Glocal. First is the event preparation, is the one that in which we are now. Then we have the event implementation, that's what happens between June 1st and 5th. And then we have the event follow-up, which first stage is right after your event is finished, then no longer than a week after Glocal finishes. Okay, so how does it go? For event preparation, that's the phase that in which we are now, you will have two main tasks. One of them is dissemination, and the second one is coordination. So, for dissemination, please be aware that you, as an event organizer, are responsible for promoting your event. There will be 360 events happening in 5 days, so people will need to make choices. No one can attend more than 10 events. Even the most enthusiastic participants, which I am one of those, can join 10, 12 events during the week. So make sure you promote your event with those people that could be interested. Do it through social media, but also do it through email, because not everyone is reviewing social media, and people need to be sure they have access to your information. So for this, prepare your event poster using the Glocal template. Luca's going to share where that poster is. Some of you have already made it, but we do need to use a consistent branding, so we will all have similar posters. You can adapt it, of course, with your own images, but use that and promote with that. Second, disseminate your event, as I said, using the event page. So it should be your message, and then for more information and registration, go to this link, and that link is going to be your local event page. Luca is going also to share us where do you get that link. And this is very important. I told you that the local agenda will go live early next week. This means that the list of events that are going to be part of Glocal will be made available publicly in the platform from next week on. So only after that happens, and that's an announcement that we make through email and social media, you should start promoting your own event. This again for consistency. Okay, so that's the first, disseminate. Never stop disseminating. Make sure everyone knows about this event. Tag us so we can amplify your voice. Rossetti is going to let you know more details about how this could be done in a nice way. And but do not rest thinking that people are going to go to the platform, see your event, and register, and that would only work. You also need to promote it. Okay, the second task is for coordination. So for ones out there, we disseminate and promote, and for the ones that are being part of the event, we coordinate. And we coordinate in three levels. First is that you coordinate with your speakers and moderators to ensure smooth implementation. You share the template and the Zoom background, or the background because it also works in other platforms. So they are prepared, they have the branding and they have the directions. You ask them to join the event a few minutes earlier and everything that's needed on one hand. On the other hand, you coordinate with registered participants. There is a list of everyone that clicked on your event and said registered on the Glocal platform. So remember to communicate with them. If there are any changes, if you want to send them a reminder, if you have any request, communicate with them through that process and make sure you answer to any questions or comments that you have. Also available in the platform. And third, the third level of coordination is with us. So if any adaptations on your event are needed or made directly by you, please remember to let us know. That way we can help you promote and everything that's needed. So there in the tips and tools, you can see what's available. As I told you, templates, logos, banners, backgrounds, everything is available for you in the platform. Okay, so that's the first one. See, event preparation. After everything is prepared and ready, people are registered, we start the event implementation, which starts on June 1st. This is for Glocal. Then you need two main tasks to undertake, the quality assurance and the participant communication. So for quality assurance, this is as the same for every event. Ensure your speakers are informed about all the details that they will need to have. The panelist link, they have the templates and they have everything they will need to join the session in Zoom, the times, the agenda, and everything to ensure smooth implementation. Then good practice is to invite them early for technical checks. 20 minutes could be good. That's always a recommendation. So you are sure that everything is working as expected. And this one, the 3.3, is also very important. We recommend that you assign a dedicated team member to manage the virtual platform. If you are working on this with one colleague, you can invite someone else, but make sure someone keeps an eye on the platform. In past editions, we have received comments of people that were left in the waiting room. So what happens is that I start my meeting, I start my presentation, and I don't look at the waiting room anymore. And some people are willing to enter and they cannot. So work with someone else to support you on this to make sure everyone can access and everyone has the information that they need. Normally people register on the last minute, so be ready for this. Um, okay. And always for hybrid and for virtual events, record your meeting. If there is any reason for which you cannot record it, please ensure you have a translation or your own notes, but we do need to know what happened. How did the debate go? That's the only way in which we will be able to share afterwards and to make sure your event is part of our bigger analysis. So that regarding quality assurance for participant communication or information, the same that I was telling you. Make sure participants are informed of any major changes to your event, for example, date and time. It has happened also in previous editions that we have to make a last time change, and we do not communicate to people. So many of them are not able to join. So keep an eye on them, treat them with love, make sure you are responsive to the queries because they're interested in the work you do. And it's good practice to manually send a reminder to everyone that's registered before the event. So everyone knows that the event is happening and has at hand the link and everything that they would be needed. Again, because there's lots of competition, there will be tons of events happening at the same time. So you do not want them to get lost and join another event that was not yours. And for the tips and tools, just remember there is a list of participants in the platform available for you that you can download with all their emails. Treat this as confidentially. This is only available for you and us, so do not, under any circumstances, share this list. And you can also send direct messages through the platform, but we always recommend that you use email to keep track of to keep stronger track of communications. Okay, so now your event already happened. It was super successful, many people joined. And what do we do now? So the third stage or phase is event follow-up. What do I do after my event is finalized? And there are two main tasks that you should undertake here. One is reporting, which I've been super insistent about it. And the second one is to disseminate the video afterwards. What the reporting of this phase is super important because as 360 events are happening the same week, and our community is not incredibly big, not everyone will be able to join your event. So you might get lower attendance than you would get in other out of the Glocal week. So for this, you need to make sure your video is available so people that could not join can watch after or can see a summary or they could be directed to that debate afterwards. So this is the reason why your report or the proceeding is extremely important. So after your event finishes, right away, if you have time, or the day after, but please not longer than that, complete the event proceeding on the Glocal platform. It is a very, very simple form. And the main components of that form are the video recording, which needs to be available in a public platform like YouTube or Vimeo. We cannot accept any videos from Google Drive or any other suites. It needs to be publicly available. And if you do have a transcription of the event, please also add it because it's also useful for our analysis. You would also need to add as one main point of information in your proceeding the total number of participants to join the event, including any disaggregation data that you might have, which could be gender, country, type of organization. If you do not have disaggregation available at hand, just put the total and then you would be able to add anything that can be available later. This data is incredibly important because sometimes we have seen that, for example, we have I don't know, 30 people register in the platform and somehow 200 people join the event. This always happens, for example, in hybrid and in-person events. We have 30 in the platform, but I don't know, 3,000 come after to the event. This happened in Ecuador actually last year. So we really need to know how many people did actually attend. So please complete that number for us so we can have a reporting that is clear and accurate. And you would also need to add a brief summary of the event. So right after you finish, you have this fresh and at hand. What happened, what discussions went there, if there was any debate. Very brief, just for us to know. After this, after you upload this, we will produce a certificate for you and send it to your email and make sure you can be recognized for your contribution to Glocal. And after this happens, you would have the opportunity to share. So the proceeding is the event page that now will have the recording and everything. So you can use that event page for promoting, for sending to your own participants, to those that couldn't join, to people that want to know how did things go. So you will have that little page that's for you to share, and we will also help you with that. And after this happens, as always, you will have the opportunity to share that event page content or any other reflections that you have in the Better Evaluation webpage. So you are very welcome to liaise with our colleagues and send the reflection that you want to share and follow that process to see if that's suitable for the page. Okay. So this was all on my side. I know it's lots of information, so please think about it. If you have questions, write them now, and we will address them after my colleague Luca and Rossetti share with you details about the platform and about our communication recommendations. So with this, Luca,
Claudia,
please, Patrizia,
can I just jump quickly?
please, please.
Thank you for your questions. Please make sure that you put them in the Q&A because we are answering all the ones that we think can be answered, and then there will be others that we will be answer live. So please make if you have typed your question in the chat, copy that in the Q&A so that we can answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrizia, for that. And if just to add on that, if there are any questions that cannot be addressed at this point, we will make sure they're addressed in a document and share with you afterwards. So everyone has the guidance that they need, and you do have the contact of your focal point, who are always open and very happy to clarify any doubts from your end. Okay, so this is enough from me. I know it's been exhausting, so now I will pass the microphone to Luca so he can walk us through the platform. Luca, please, the microphone is yours.
Thank you, Claudia. Yes, very complete presentation. So I'll try to show you, to demonstrate visually some of the points that you also touched in the presentation. Let me see if I'm sharing my screen. Not yet. Okay, I hope you are all available to see, able to see my screen. I'm already in the dashboard because by now you should be familiarized with the dashboard. Claudia, I see some is okay? Okay.
Yes, I was just looking at the questions in the chat.
Okay, okay. Sorry for that. Okay. So yeah, I just keep the part where we need to log in into the platform and then we get access to the dashboard. The dashboard that you see is probably a little bit different than yours because there is also the admin and focal points level, but it shouldn't be available on your side as you are organizers. So we mainly, as organizers, we need to mainly focus on these four items, four cards. The most important is, of course, manage events. When you click here, you will see now it's empty on my side because I'm not organizing any event, but on this part, on this side, you will see a list of events that have been approved. You submitted as proposals and have been approved. So it will look something like this without the filters. And just to look at the event page together so that we see some of the things that were mentioned during Claudia's presentation. So let me filter by English. Okay, let's open one of the events. So this is what the event page is going to look like also once it's published, apart from some details that will not be visible on the public website. Web page. So I'm referring to the action box and everything that is connected to the backend options, so comments and participant. All this information is hidden and only visible to you in the backend. But all the rest of the information will be published on the website on the list of events for this year. To retain from this page, so as we mentioned during the presentation, there is the possibility to see the list of participants to your events. So who registered to join the event, and you can get there from here. And then I'll show you another way. So just by clicking here or scrolling down to the end of the page until you get to participants box. And this, when someone registers to join the event, will look like something like this. So I'll just hide the email for privacy policy. But you see that it's possible to then reach all the participants in the list of your event by clicking here. And this way you can send direct message to them, to the full list. Or you can also export the list of participants into CSV format, Excel format. And this is done mainly if you need to alert participants of any changes, or you need to communicate anything specific about your event. So everything will be accessible here, but it's also possible to get to the participant list of your events from here. The thing is that if you click on this box, you will probably have it will be a bit more confused because it will be presenting the participants of all the events that you are organizing. So let's say that you have 10 events, it's going to be a little bit more confused. But you can, once again, you can get to this information from here. It's pretty simple. And then something else that needs to be highlighted is the fact that we have these managed proceedings. So once the event happens and is complete, as we said, it's important to submit proceedings so that we create this collective knowledge base, we contribute to that. And the way it's done is through this link. This is one, but I can show you another way. And this is the form that you're asked to fill in. Some of the information, such as the title, is already in the form, is taken from your proposal, but other kind of information will need to be submitted by you. So I was saying that there is another way, and the other way is let me see. It's here, for example. Actions. Oh, it's not working. Okay. Yes, it's going to work. No, scratch it. I don't want to confuse you. So let's get back to the event page. So this is going to be the main form that you're going to use to submit proceedings. And it's once again from here. So these two are the most important links that you will need to use on your event page. Then we were talking about tools that you can use for communication, information promotion of your events. The tools are available here by clicking on this link. You probably know this page because there is this tutorial to guide you through the submission of your event. So you've done that and everything has been approved. But there is a second part where you can get to where there are the links for tools that you can use to communicate your events. So let's open one of them. Most of them are hosted on Canva. For that, you need to access the template. You need to have an account, but the account is free, and I can show you how it works. I'm already in, but you will, in case you don't have a free account, you will be asked to create one, but you can create one using your Gmail or other social media accounts. So it's really a 2 minutes process or less than that. So then you continue. Okay, it's asking me anyway. Good. And then you will be prompted to ask if you want to open it in the editor. And that means that it's going to open the template as a new file. If you see here, it's written copy of Glocal 2006 logos. That means that you are not editing the original templates and you are creating your own file. Why do I have the logo? Why do we have the logos as a template? Because you can, from here, let me hide this, you can decide which one to use and say that you're not creating something on Canva. If you are creating something on Canva, you can just copy and paste from here to your file. Otherwise, you can also download. Let's say that we want only the first page. We download from here. So share and then download. We decide which is the format that we want to use. In this case, since it's a logo, it might be useful to have a transparent background. And then here we select the pages that we want to use. So in this case, we just want the first logo. So either we do current page, or we can also select directly from the list. Then it's done, and we can download. And then from here, we will have a logo that we can that is ready to use. So getting back to the list, these are the resources that we have available. The presentation template, Zoom background, as we said. We have event poster, and I can show you what it's that about. So once again, I will have to open in the editor. Okay, the event poster has 1, 2, 3, I think it's 3 or 4, 3 options of poster that you can choose from. Once again, this is a copy. So let's say that we just want to use the last one. Just get rid of the previous ones and we use this, and then we can edit it as we wish. Please make sure that we keep branding elements in place. We don't change too much. But yeah, there are placeholders for you to fill with your own photos and information. And this is an inspiration, it's a suggestion of a template that you can use, but you can also be a bit creative, not too much. And then, yeah, here we also have other links and social media tips for promoting your local event, and then sample of social media posts. This is something that my colleague Rossetti is going to talk you through. And I see that Patricia raised her hand. So Patricia.
Yes, Luca, I wanted you to answer. There are a couple of questions that are related to what you're presenting right now.
Okay.
Many people are saying, how do I share? What is the link to my event? How do participants register? And can you please explain them and what will happen?
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. I forgot to mention. So let's get back to an event page. Let's take this one, for example. Okay, I trust that you see the entire screen. So the link that you need to use to promote your event is this one, is the one that you see in the browser bar. So you just copy that and then you use it for your communication. If you see right now, there is this alert, registration are closed until the agenda is published. That means that once we publish the agenda online for all the events of this year. Here, there is going to be a button for registration, and that registration will be enable users, participants to join the event or to reserve their place for the event. And so I think I'm answered two of the questions, right? Okay. Is there anything else? Because from my side, more or less it's done. But if there are any questions on this topic, maybe we can answer right away.
Maybe you can come back later and now Rossetti can do her part and then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please, Rossetti.
Shall I go ahead? Yes. Okay. Hello. I just want to say welcome to those who are organizing a Glocal event for the first time. Welcome. We were all once first timer in Glocal and just experiencing for the first time how wonderful it is. So welcome. And for those who have already organized an event before, thank you for returning. Okay, and thank you for not getting tired of working with us. You know, it's the same face as every year, right? Thanks for not getting tired of that and helping us make Glocal something that really brings a lot of value to the evaluation community. As Patrizia already said earlier, you know, this value comes from you, from the events that you organize and the kind of knowledge that you share with the community. So thank you for coming back. And okay, so Claudio gave me a list of things to discuss with you. I'll go over it very quickly because we don't have time. Um, so, so now that your events have been approved, the next step is to invite people to attend, right? And so, which means we're going to work together to promote your event. And there are a number of ways that you can do that, but it helps to have a plan on how you're going to promote your event. You have one whole month, that's the month of May, to promote your events. You're basically going to launch a campaign, and there are several ways. You can do social media, you can send emails, you can send messages through WhatsApp. That plan will largely depend on how you can best reach the people that you want to invite. But if you want to invite as many people as you want, then use all these channels, okay? And usually the success of your campaign will depend not only on using just one tool, not just social media. Sometimes it's a combination of social media and also emails, so you can get more people to join your event. So but first, before you promote, there are certain things you need to be final and ready. So, for example, your list of speakers need to be confirmed. Your program, although you can still revise them later on, but it's important to have your final list of speakers. And then, of course, your final date and time of your event, because that's what you're going to mention in your promotion. And most important of all, you need that link, right? You need this registration link because that's how people can join your event. And I know you're tired of hearing this, but we need to say it again. Please use the registration link. Instead of using the Zoom link or your Teams link, please use the link to the Glocal platform. As Luca already showed you how, you just get that link and that's how you please use that for your promotion. I think that Ben, hi Ben, Playfair, you have a question about this. Okay, so we need registrants to register, participants to register on the Glocal platform. Okay, why do we need them to register there? Because we need this data. Okay, we need this data for our own monitoring and evaluation activities. And this is something that I trust that you understand, you know, because we are all people who love evidence and we can't get that evidence if we don't have the data. So yeah, to answer your question, Ben, we need them to register through the platform so we can collect the data and then see what events they attend. And Zainab, to answer your question, what do we do with that data? Okay, so that data tells us what events did they join. So then, or so that next year we can improve Glocal, okay, based on that data. Okay, these were the topics that people attended. These were the themes that appear to be interesting to the evaluation community. Then we can use those insights to improve the next edition of Glocal Evaluation Week. I hope that answers your question. So please, please help us access that data. Okay, so that's important. You need to have a link. And then, of course, it helps to have a visual or a poster. Luca already showed you that. Evidence says that the visual content greatly improves recall and engagement. So it's nice to have a poster. And once again, sorry to say this again, but please respect the visual branding of Glocal Evaluation Week. The visual identity is like the face of a person. You look at the face and you recognize the person, and there's a link, a natural link to that person. It's the same thing with the visual branding. When people see it on social media, it's the same colors, the same logo. So they understand that this is all part of Glocal Evaluation Week. So of course you can customize the template. You can put your own images and put your own text, but please keep the colors and the logo. Thank you very much. And then of course to promote, you also need a catchy, engaging message to invite people. And so, as Luca already showed you earlier, we've prepared a list of tips on promoting your event on social media. You'll find it on the local platform in the tools section. And that list already includes sample social media posts. And you also have the visual template, all the links that you need to promote your event, you will find them there. Okay? And including hashtags you can use and others. But again, before you start promoting, as Claudia already mentioned earlier, please wait for us to share the final agenda for Glocal. Okay, please. So once we announce that, you'll see it on social media. We'll let you know as well. Then you can start promoting your own individual events. It's also good to remember that, what time is it? Okay. It's also good to remember that promoting your local events hopefully will not end just after your event is over. The best part of a knowledge sharing session is that the real magic really happens after, when participants or you get to process all the knowledge and the insights that happened during that event. Then you can really share that knowledge with other people. And that's why we encourage you to please register the proceedings, report the proceedings in the Glocal platform. Tabiso, you have a question about this. So you asked that where do you get the template for reporting? So it's already in the Glocal platform. As you can see on the right side, you will see a section that says Manage Proceedings. So you just have to click on that, and it has a series of questions that you just have to fill up, and then share the link to your recording. Please share the link to your recording. So, every year we do a YouTube playlist of Glocal sessions, and we would love to have you in that playlist. So if you have that link, then we can see it in the platform in your proceedings, and then we will put them all together and make a YouTube playlist and feature your session when we promote on social media. So, okay, so share your local proceedings so it can be accessed by others. It's also a way for other people to access the knowledge and the insights from your session. If you put in the proceedings, and people can read it. Another opportunity, lastly, sorry, this is the last. Another opportunity is to contribute content to better evaluation. Already mentioned earlier, it is our knowledge platform. And Merv, I hope you're pronouncing your name well. Merve or Merv, you have a question about this? Yes. You can create content based on your event and the insights you got, and you can share it with others. That would be really, really great. And one opportunity is to share that content with better evaluation. You can do a blog post, or maybe it's a learning note or a paper based on the insights that you gathered from your session, and then you can share it on social media, or you can post it also on better evaluation. So, okay, that's it. Thank you. Before I go, once again, there's a list of tips on promoting your event on social media. It's in the tools section. And we also have a group on LinkedIn for local event organizers. You will find the link in that document as well. So you can join there. And if you had questions that were not addressed today, you can post them there and you will answer them. That's about it, I guess, Claudia. Thank you. And I hope all your knowledge sharing sessions will go well, and that you will learn a lot from Glocal 2026.
Thank you, Rosetti. See how passionate she is. She even dressed in the colors of Glocal. So, guys, we don't have many minutes left in this session. So I want to emphasize a couple of things. First of all, we promise that all the questions will be answered. We will copy all the questions and then send around a document with all the answers that we can give you. Second, the recording and the presentation will be available right after the meeting. We have your email address, therefore we will email you the link so you can find them. Third, I know that some of you are returning organizers, and sometimes last year has been challenging for registering participants through the Glocal platform. We have worked on the platform this year. There should be no such an issue. So please do give us the benefit of the doubt that we can improve and invite people to register from the platform. As Rossetti said, we need to collect the data. And the proceeding is not just about data collection. As you know, we receive funds for doing this. We need to keep local community alive, and we can only do it if when they come to me and say, Patrizia, why do we do Glocal? Yeah, after the weekend, then so what? The so what question, you get it every you will get it, right? So what? Why do you do this? And so what we want to do this year, since AI is available now, is to try to analyze the trends and the topics and what has been discussed and see if we can come up with proceedings that bring together, and maybe there is a thread, there is a pattern to be spotted, something that we can talk about that has been the essence of the conversation of this year. Don't worry, data will be anonymized if it's needed to be. So we will treat everything with confidentiality, but we need this data and we need to prove that the Glocal is more than just a bunch of events happening at the same time. And for this, we thank you. We thank really for all your effort, for all your ideas. You can have events on all format, so it's up to you and your imagination. But this is something that brings us together every year, and I want to really thank you again, my team, Rossetti, Luca, and Claudia. They work a lot to make this happen every year. So thank you, everybody, and I'll give you back 40 seconds so that we can all go our way and we will share everything soon. Thank you again and see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.